This is Earth, the third planet from the Sun and conveniently placed as far away from it to not be too hot or too cold, to enable water in its liquid form and life. Approximately 8.7 million species of plants and animals currently inhabit the planet, one of which is humans. Humans have only been around a short period of time compared to the history of the planet, but we've undoubtedly had a massive impact regardless. We've evolved from hunter-gatherers to the sophisticated creatures we are today. With our big brains, we've invented countless tools to aid in our survival, one of which is the exploitation of fossil fuel. In this video, we will explore the impact our actions have on the planet, particularly those actions leading to climate change, and what we can do about it. In 1950, the world's population was about 2.59 billion people. In the span of just 70 years, our population has grown by more than 5 billion people. This population growth has had dramatic effects on other species. Since the 1970s, we have wiped out over 60% of animal population as a result of our need to satisfy our growing population with more homes, with more food, and with work. In that same year, the world's habitable land was comprised of 44% forests, 12% was used to grow crops, 31% for grazing, 12% was wild grasslands. Today, the world's habitable land looks like this, showing a decrease in forest land by 0.7 billion hectares. That's approximately 3/4 the size of the United States. We drove other species out of their homes to feed our ever-growing and greedy population. Almost half of the world's habitable land is used for agriculture. Take a look at this graph. We have drove an area as big as Canada, Alaska, United States, Latin America, South America, and all the Caribbean islands combined out of their homes for meat and dairy products. Our demand for food is not the only thing that has increased. We consume more than 6 times the energy we consume today than in the 50s. About 80% of that energy is produced from fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas. This has corresponded with an increase in total CO2 emissions, moving from 6 billion tons in 1950 to 36 billion tons in 2019. The effects our actions have are harming ourselves and other living organisms as well. The effects on ourselves, though, are more than we realize.
Now to the bone-dry conditions up and down the west coast.
The world is seeing far more extreme heat.
The world's first climate crisis farming.
Experts say Northern Europe will be wetter overall.
It is unequivocal that human activities are responsible for climate change. That's the finding of a new study by the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change.
A major side effect of adding more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere is an increase in global surface temperatures. On the ground, this means that extreme weather events like droughts and storms will increase in severity and an overall warmer Earth. To understand how this happens, we need to understand the water cycle. The sun warms water on the surface and transforms it into water vapor that make up our clouds. Air currents move these clouds from one location to another, and when the droplets become too heavy, they fall as rain or snow. This water then either moves across the land as runoff and into rivers or streams, or is stored as snow on top of mountains or on the ground as groundwater to be released later. The problem with increasing temperatures is that it affects wind patterns and increases the amount of water the atmosphere can hold. For example, a shift in wind patterns may result in fewer rainfall to an area because the prevailing winds aren't pushing clouds there. Less rain and snow means less water is provided to rivers and streams or other water storage areas like lakes. This is a simplified explanation of what is currently happening to the western United States. Many lakes like Meade and Powell are only at 36% capacity. The region might as well been in a drought regardless, but it is human-caused climate change that is exacerbating the situation. In fact, all across the globe, extreme weather events have increased. Hydrological events like floods and climatological events like droughts, wildfires, and heat waves that cause loss have more than tripled since the 80s. Wildfires are now affecting some of the coldest places on Earth, like the Russian Arctic. Temperatures there reached a records and shrubs and grasses started to burn. As of this writing, fires in Siberia have released more than 800 million tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. This is more CO2 than what Germany, the sixth most carbon dioxide emitting nation, emits in a year. Rising temperatures also melt permafrost. This is carbon-rich soil that has been frozen for millennia, adding to the carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere. It is estimated that permafrost holds around 1.5 trillion metric tons of organic carbon. That's twice as much what Earth's atmosphere currently holds. Our planet is changing, and we're the cause. We've known about our impact for quite a while. The ones who suffer most will not be the ones that contribute the most to it. We are ultimately lighting our houses on fire while concurrently expecting to live now. Let's do something about climate change. So hey guys, I just wanted to show you guys this graph. It shows how just 10 countries is actually responsible for a little under 70% of all global greenhouse gas emissions. Let me know what you guys think. Why haven't we done enough about climate change? And should we place more pressure on these 10 countries specifically? Thank you for watching again. Please leave a like and subscribe. Have a good weekend.